Hello, hello, and welcome to Friday Night D&D, presented by the DOTVPodcast. That's us. We are doing Swashbuckler series this evening, so tonight with me is Lewis.
He is? Where? He's awesome. Where's he at? Oh, wait. No, that's me. Hello, everybody.
Yes. So, without further ado, why don't we kind of recap where we are and what we are doing in the campaign.
I am sitting behind my computer. Oh, you meant where we are in the campaign. Let's see here. We've had crewmates. Well, a bunch of stuff, but we had some crewmates taken to a prison. We decided we didn't like the way the captain was running things. We decided we wanted to, mine's gone blank, mutiny. And so we mutinied. The new captain and myself and what was left over decided to take a little trip to try to get them back. And last week, Traxidor and his humble little jackal were out exploring the wilderness, getting supplies for herbs, enough stuff to make some potions and other concoctions. Fought a lot of things or fought some things. Survived. Went and we made it back to town, right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. That's sort of all I remember because I'm on pain med mind.
Right, so we made it back to Sandport. That is the city we are currently in. On the map, it is right here where I'm pinging. And we are trying to get to this little island called Hemlock, which is just right over here. And that's where the prison is, where our fellow crewmates are and our goal. But we can't take our ship, so we left that back by Tempest, I think. That's what that's called.
I was trying to ping it on the wrong thing.
Oh,
yeah, up by Tempest. You see him up there.
Yep, by Tempest. So we left the Dirty Delight docked in a hidden cove there. Got passage from Tempest to Sandport, and we have passage arranged to get to Hemlock. This is a little unorthodox.
Party cruise!
That's right, there is a party boat. And Fish Lips explains that, a while back before she joined up with Blackmane, she had, done work for other merchants and shippers and whatnot, and she helped this particular guy reclaim a lot of money that he thought that he had lost. So, to thank her, he retroactively owes her a party on his party boat, a weekend cruise. So she knows that he's pretty much stationed here in Sandport. He's one of the more prominent names. We don't really get too much into the politics of the regions, but he's one of those players. Regardless, he has agreed to take you to Hemlock drop you off there, but you'll get your party on the way. So, as it is right now, it's like the night before. Um, you're still at the inn. You'll get a full night's sleep. You'll have everything will be replenished and whatnot. You will have time in the morning to do any last minute shopping because you don't know when exactly you're going to come back to Sandport, even though you have an item on order.
Yes, I'm hoping we come back.
Yeah,
It's a mighty cool darkened thing of studded leather that has hidden pockets in it. So.
Yeah, and that's from the dwarven armorer Rockford.
Yeah. See if nothing else, he could put that in his files.
I see what you did there.
Files. Yeah.
You have inspiration. No, just kidding.
Woohoo!
All right.
I have old man inspiration for even knowing the show.
All right. So, but yeah. So Fish Lips, it tells you like we're supposed to meet up at about 1400 the following day. So you'll have time in the morning to do any last minute shopping, gather any last minute supplies. Think about this. Now, you are planning on doing a jailbreak of sorts. You haven't really figured out, the details behind if you're, like, forcefully breaking in, if you're going to sneak in, like, what exactly you're doing, but this would probably be your last best opportunity to get any tools that you would need because you're in a city now, and there aren't any named locations, on the map as far as Hemlock is concerned, but that it's still to be assumed that there'll be like little towns and villages and whatnot, but supply and what's actually available is going to be far reduced as compared to what you'll find in a larger city like what you're in right now.
Trying to come up. And I tried to get a bag of holding, and it was too much last time, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I was thinking that if I had to spend stuff to get, like, my extra armor and everything else that I had. No. Hey, it's funny. I'm spending this money like like I don't have to share it with anybody.
Yeah, you did find all that, coinage. Granted, you gotta give the captain a cut, but...
Trying to think. I might want to get me an extra set of thieves' tools. Matter of fact, yes, I'm going to get me an extra set of thieves' tools.
Oh, and one other thing that Fish Lips did mention, and... one sec. There it is. Some of the other guests that are going to be on this party boat, these are more of like the... I don't want to say like nobility of the city, but these are going to be like,
lifestyles of the rich and famous.
Exactly. It's going to be like kind of like bureaucrats and aristocrats, so they're going to be like, hoity-toity potentially.
I have hoity-toity clothes, so I'm good.
Okay, I was going to say because the host, Gellin, recommended that you do wear something decent.
Well, actually, I guess I have a fancy cloak. I don't necessarily have fancy clothes. So I'll pick up some fancy clothes as well.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Fancy clothes. Another thing of thieves' picks, and those I can hide in a. Um, See, I was hiding something else in my uh, prison pocket. What was it? I was hiding in my prison pocket.
The platinum?
Oh, yeah, I was going to be hiding. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I didn't have to do that. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna get me some regular, some fancy clothes and some another thing of thieves' tools, which are gonna hide in my, once we get closer, hide in my prison pocket.
Alright. And I don't think it's like it's you had a week to go through this marketplace and whatnot, and you've explored around, so you don't have any problem finding the correct vendors. So yeah, I think we can just go. Since this is a city, we can go standard PHP pricing as far as those items are concerned.
And if I want to, because thieves' tools comes with more things. If I wanted to just pick up an extra thing of pick locks as well, that I could like hide in my fur around my ear. So just in case they find the pockets, uh, the prism pocket, and take them, that I still have a pick a pick that I could use, because I'm thinking if things go bad, I don't want to stay in there.
Yeah, I don't
So
see why you couldn't just pull a pick or two out of the kits and do that, just to have it like separate. It won't take away from your kit at all, but you know a thieves tools kit comes with multiple picks. You
yeah,
know.
so I will, I'll rearrange the pack um, to make it look like it's full. So if somebody opens it up, they don't go, "Wait, you're missing a couple of tools. Let's see if I can find them."
Well, and you could also consider the fact that thieves tools do break, so
That too.
it's not unlikely for tools to be missing. Unless it's a brand new thing, that's different. But if you already have a thieves kit, a tool kit, so you can just pull picks from that, and no one would be any wiser. Then your new one would look brand new, and etc.
Yeah. Okay, so for my, let's see, good. Fine clothes, living fancy too. Okay, so fine clothes is 15, and then 25 for my new thieves picks, so that's 40. What else? And I picked me up a poor quality spyglass. Yeah, I could also go in the prison possibly as huh, this strange thing called as a doctor. Because for some reason, I'm a doctor.
Yeah. And, otherwise I was also going to suggest things like crowbars, disguise kits. I mean, there could be any number of methods for you to get inside of this prison.
In my burglar's pack, I have 1,000 ball bearings, string, handle, crowbar, hammer, Titans, hooded lantern, 2 flasks of oil, tinder box, water skin, hempen rope. So I have the crew. I'm trying to think because the prisons most likely don't have doctors on staff, but they may have doctors showing up every so often to tend to not necessarily, well, they may have them tend to more important prisoners and staff who may be sick.
Uh, that's fair.
So I could go in as that. If nothing else, go in, do that, get a scope of the situation and know what's going on, where everything's at, and then make a better plan after that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's definitely an option. Okay. Is there anything else you needed to do before meeting up with Fish Lips down at the harbor?
Trying to think, I can't think of anything else. I'll think of it whenever we're needing it, going, oh, I should have asked for.
Okay. Well then, with that, we can move on.
2 seconds before we get too far. Looking at a potion, possibly. So, a potion of water breathing is an uncommon potion.
I think uncommon is 300 gold.
With me, of course, it'll probably take me too long to create it. Because I have herbalist kit and stuff like that, and I can make potions. Of course, I've already made potions of healing. Okay, a bottle, a water bottle, 3 bottles. And nether wart. Let's keep talking about Minecraft. I hear about Minecraft. No, it's still showing Minecraft. I was like, Ocean of Water Breathing 5e. Then it goes, first one was Minecraft. Okay. Suggested special ingredients for such a potion includes the blood of a water naga, the organs of a nixie, or the slime of an apple. Okay, never mind. There's no way I'll be able to find those things. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. So you head to the harbor. Do I have a good... No, I don't. That's fine. We can keep with this for now. Alright, so you head to the harbor. And you see Fish Lips is there with Graves. And they are talking to a young gentleman. And as you approach, you get a good look at this guy. He is dressed in colorful, flamboyant clothing with an equally flamboyant naval officer's hat. He's got a well-trimmed, decent-length beard that kind of comes down to a wispy point. And he wears a fine, dark red cape on his back. And, so, like, as you approach, like, there isn't much wind, yet his cape is kind of slowly billowing, even though there isn't, like, any wind to be making it do that. And as it does that, you notice a flask attached to his hip as well. Probably got some strong alcohol in there.
Well, and she's mentioned the guy's name before, right?
Yes, his name is Gellin Primewater.
I go up and everything, like, Captain, this must be Captain Primewater that you told me about.
Oh, hello there. Not Captain, just Primewater. Gellin, actually. My friends call me Gellin, and you're a member of Corda's crew here, so you are a friend of mine. Yes, you'll be meeting the captain of the Primewater Pleasure presently.
Yeah, Galen, nice to meet you. I am Traxador. You may have heard of me, as I, do a little.
Oh, right. A little. Very well. Is that everyone there, Corda? And it's like, yeah, that's my crew. Like, alright, very well, very well. Well, we all head aboard, and so here's probably the oddest thing. Like, something wasn't quite right as you approached this boat, and it took you a moment to realize, it took you a moment to realize why, and that's because there doesn't appear to be any crew members readying the ship for departure. Like, normally, a ship this big, from experience, requires at least 20 plus people to properly crew and sail and maintain, and allow for, like, shift changes and things like that. But there is zero movement. In fact, as you walk up the gangplank, you see the captain is lounging, like in like a folding lounge chair, basically, right there on the main deck, with flask in her hand. And as you approach, she stands up, And she's like, ahoy there.
Hi, Captain.
Right. Misty, this here is Captain Corda, her first mate, Traxador, another member of her crew, Graves. My esteemed guests, this is Captain Misty No Crew Swale. And she kind of smirks when Gellin says this, and and yeah, it's you realize there is like no crew on this ship.
So is this a working cruise?
What? No. Everything is taken care of. See, I've got not me, Gallon here, actually, hired a wizard to essentially enchant this vessel where I can pilot her all by myself. And, while she's like standing, you kind of get a better look at her. She's human, female. She wears a navy doublet with silver trim over a white shirt, but she also has a pink bandana that has certainly been cleaner, but she wears that under a tri-cornered dark leather pirate hat, essentially. And she's got a cutlass at her side, as well as a bandolier. So why don't you make a perception check real quick, please?
A perception check, good lad. Nope. 9.
So she's got a bandolier on that's got multiple interesting daggers throughout it. But yeah, so she like smiles, mentions, so first mate, he's the one responsible for enchanting everything and keeping everything going while we're going. And then of course we got the cook, and at the mention of the cook, you realize that there are some delicious smells coming from below deck. It makes you realize that you forgot to eat lunch.
I was so enjoying this fair city that I forgot to eat, and I didn't even remember until I smelled those lovely smells.
Kellen smiles. He's like, oh, that's no concern. I'm sure we can grab some appetizers for you. We're going to pass right by the banquet hall on the way to your cabins. Actually, there won't really be any food in the banquet hall just yet. No, will there be? But the kitchen is below decks as well, so I'm sure we can swing by Urgob, and he'll probably have something for you to at least nibble on until dinner is ready later on this evening.
Wait, you have Urgob on board?
Urgob? Yeah, you know Urgob?
Wow, I'm impressed. I don't, but I'm acting like I do.
Yeah, why don't you make a deception check?
Yeah, these rolls need to pick up.
And pop him out. Let's see, that would be insight. It's like, oh, so like he's like, "Oh, you know Urgob?" And you're like, "Yup." And he's like, "Oh, wait a second, you're just pulling my leg, aren't you? Oh, we have a comedian on board. That is most excellent. We haven't had that sort of entertainment on here in a while. It's usually just the games."
Games, comedy, I got it all.
Very good, very good. Well then,
But the food does smell delicious.
right, yes, it will definitely will pass by the kitchen on the way down, and we give you a little quickie tour, as it were, as I show you to your cabins for the weekend here.
I always love a good quickie. As I wink to Galen.
All right, so here we are on the main deck of the ship. At the where are you? There we go. So at the fore of the ship, you see the. Well, you're on the main deck right now. Then the main deck of the Prime Water Pleasure is exceptionally clean. The polished wood gleams in the sun. There are 4 rather ornate-looking cannons fitted into loose slots in the ship's rail, which you can see on the map there. They too are sparkling clean, and you wonder if they've ever even been used. The ship has 1 large mast with a red sail furled up. The ship's capstan is near the fore of the ship, its anchor pulled up, and the rope is in a neat pile nearby. Behind you, 2 flights of at the fore or the aft of the ship, the stern. 2 flights of stairs lead up to a raised area that is the ship's poop deck. The ship's large steering wheel is the most prominent feature of the area. And even from down here, you can tell that it appears to be covered in glowing arcane runes. It's nearly about 5 feet in diameter, and you can tell that the platform would, definitely grant a clear view of the deck below here that you're on. There are also so between the 2 sets of stairs, there is a door. And here, actually, we'll shift the map down 1 layer. So this is the same main deck, but this is with the poop deck removed. So you see between where the stairs are, there's a door that leads to a small corridor. Gellin explains that his quarters are located here, along with the Commodore's quarters, whom you presume to be one of the guests. And then he points out the 2 trapdoors. So there's a trapdoor right there, and then there's a trapdoor at the very, very front of the ship. So he pops open the trapdoor that you're nearby right now and leads you down to the lower deck. Don't mind all that tokens on there right now, and they're not appropriately sized, but you come out right down here, down these stairs. And so Gellin stops you right here. He's like, okay, so you see this door here that leads to the other guest cabins for the other guests that are going to be accompanying us this weekend. Beyond this door lies the banquet hall, and a little bit further beyond that, you'll find the cook's quarters and the captain's quarters, as well as a hall that leads, to where that other trap door was. But never mind all that. Let us head down, and he points to the trap door at the opposite end of the corridor. That's the word I was looking for before. And you come down these stairs. It's like, alright, matey. Right ahead of you, you have, well, the head. The water in there purifies. It purifies every 15 minutes. It's all magic. We spared no expense. Beyond this door here, that is where the engine room and the first mate's quarters are, but the kitchen is also in there, so we can pop in there real quick and grab a snack from Urgob. And so you do. Hello, Galaxy. Thank you for stopping in. And dropping those sweet dance moves. Perfect timing. We're on a party boat, so there'll probably be some dancing later. Alright, so Jelen leads you over to the kitchen, which is right here. We're not gonna have to actually go through the thing, but you pop your head in there, and there's the cook is in there, just toiling away behind the pots and pans over cauldrons, and just cooking up a feast or banquet or what have you. And a little to your surprise, the cook is. You were probably expecting a man or maybe a woman, but this is a large male orc. And he kind of turns when you come in. He's got a large scar across his cheek, big tusks, dark green skin, but he's wearing white chef's clothes, including the hat. And yeah, he's cooking up a storm. He's like, "Oi, Galen, what do you want, man? Didn't you see I'm cooking?" Right, Urgob. One of our guests is feeling a little bit peckish and was wondering. Oh, you need something to munch on, and he tosses a haunch of meat towards Galen, who ducks. But Captain Fishlips grabs it, catches it, hands it to you, tracks the door. Yeah, we're just getting settled in right now. Do you take the haunch of meat?
Yep, I take the haunch of meat.
Alright, so you grab that, and then Galen guides you back to the corridor with the stairs. And by the way, it's loud in that room. Let me go over the description real quick. So it's that big room. It's a large, brightly lit room. There is a humming that could be heard from above in the lower deck's main corridor. And this is where it was coming from, because that humming is very loud here. There are arcane runes inscribed onto several large iron blocks. They are humming and whirring away with magical energy. Yeah, anything else about that? No further details. So, Gellin opens up the door here, and this door is not locked, but he motions that the next 4 rooms are. So, all right, ladies and lady and gentle peoples, gentle folks, you can pick whichever one of these 4 rooms you want. You may each have your own room, of course, spared no expense. You'll find there's 1 left over, so please pick whichever room you like. Unpack, settle in. Feel free to, walk around, explore the ship a little bit if you'd like, and then, once you've had a little bit of time to settle in, come meet me back up on the main deck, and hopefully some more of our guests will have arrived by then. And with that, he hands you 2 keys. 1 key is for your room itself, and the second key is for a lockbox that is located within your cabin. Now, each room contains a comfy bed, a footlocker, a lantern full of oil, and a wardrobe. These rooms do not have windows because they are too close to sea level. So, you'll be able to get a good night's sleep, without any light coming in at night or anything. Alright, you have selected a room. See, she'll take that one, and then we'll put Graves. Graves will take the one with the comfy chair in it. It just seems appropriate for some reason. Okay. Alright, rooms are assigned. So yeah, you have a little bit of time. Think about if there's anything you want to do as you get settled in on this party boat. Do you have any questions for me? Is there anything about any of the particular layers that stood out that you had any questions about or anything?
I was just shocked that the captain's quarters was not nicer. But yeah, I have no questions.
Yeah, so you kind of gather that Gellin owns the ship, but he's not really a sailor so much, so he hires a, quote, crew to do the sailing for him.
Yeah.
So what would normally be the captain's quarters is quite nice indeed. You would have to presume, because based on how these rooms here are furnished and decorated, these are below deck. You can only imagine how, with how well these rooms are attended to, the rest of the boat must be pretty nice also.
I am happy with my accommodations.
Excellent. So now this gives you, this is, you're going to be on the water for at least a couple days, because the ship they're not planning on going full speed ahead. They're not concerned with getting you to your destination ASAP. This is a luxury relaxation cruise.
Yes.
So you know it's going to take at least a couple days. With that, and even with that in mind, Gellen's, not going to, like, intentionally avoid, go off course to, like, make the cruise go longer, He knows where he has to go, but he's not going to go at a breakneck speed. He's going to go comfortably.
Oh, I mean, if they do something weird like that, it may attract more attention. So this is perfectly fine.
Yeah. And, with that, you kind of think, too, a little bit. It's like, you really lucked out this morning. You didn't notice any of the Arushi or Arula guards, Navy folk roaming about. And everything, like, you didn't have any issues getting to the harbor without drawing attention to yourself or anything. It's going very well today.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So, you were given the 2 keys, one for your room itself and then one for your footlocker. Are you going to put anything in your footlocker? I mean, it's there if you want to use it. You don't have to use it.
At this point in time, I'm not going to put. Well, I'll put the majority of the money in the footlocker.
Okay.
That way, I'm not running around with a big old coin purse on my body.
All right. So you start to you put the coins away. You lock up the chest. You kind of you start just getting the room ready for you to make it comfortable for what you need it to be.
And I use some of my twine and stuff I have in my burglar's kit to make a necklace, and I keep my keys on a necklace around my neck.
Okay. So yeah, you finish fashioning your necklace, and at that moment, you hear Galen yell down from above deck, "Hey, Corda, Traxador, Graves, come on up, meet the other guests. They are here."
Oh, lovely.
All right. So, let's see. You make your way back up to the main deck of the ship.
Make my way.
And as you come up through the trap door and step out onto the deck, you see Gelen talking and laughing with there's 3 people there. So hang on, I will describe the people and then go into what's going on there. So the first person you see is a man, human male, mid to late 20s. He's got slightly darker skin tone. He's very tan. He is wearing a fine, dashingly white 3-piece suit that does not have a speck of dirt or grime on it whatsoever. This white 3-piece suit practically sparkles. He is carrying a cane. And he's got a briefcase in his offhand. With him is an attractive young woman, an exceptionally beautiful young woman, probably in her early 20s. She's wearing a slender red dress which trails along the ground behind her, and it leaves her right shoulder bare, revealing a tattoo of a red dragon. Much like the gentleman, her dress is immaculate. There is not a speck of dirt or dust or anything on it, despite the fact that she's been trailing it through who knows what's all out there on the harbor. She is wearing some very fine jewelry. Rings, bracelets, earrings, and also a diamond necklace. The third individual with them is a tall, balding, with white hair on the sides and back of his head, elf. So it's an older elf male. He's wearing a black butler suit with a white shirt and white gloves. And he's not carrying anything other than presumably his and the other two people's luggage.
Oh.
And with that, Galen clears his throat. Oh, excuse me, how could I forget? He turns to you. Honored guests, allow me to introduce you to Anders Solmer, the beautiful Carmilla Fireborn, and their butler, Scarin Wave Chaser. He then turns to Anders, Carmilla, and Scarin, says, My friends, allow me to introduce you to our esteemed guests of honor for the weekend, Captain Corda and her crew.
I give a polite bow.
Yes, it's a pleasure to meet you, says the young man. And Carmilla's like, oh, charming. I don't think I've ever seen anyone quite like you before. And the elf doesn't really say anything. He just kind of stands back, but he he nods, just like a butler do. And he's like, right, well, Traxador, right? Yes. You've got your quarters all set. Perhaps I should lead Camilla, Anders. You wanna? Oh, don't! No need to rush us, Galen. It's our usual quarters, right? Yes, yes, of course. But here, I insist. All the same, I'll escort you down to your quarters. And so he leads them below deck, and before the trapdoor even finishes closing, you see two more individuals beginning to board the ship. They're walking up along the gangplank. And these two men, one of them is an older fellow. Let's see. Where is it? Nope, not that one. Okay. There he is. Alright, one of them is an older fellow. He is wearing a very fine black doublet bearing the crown symbol over a waistcoat, and he's got a sizable tri-cornered hat made from dark leather over a red bandana. This gentleman also has a wooden peg leg, and you can see he's got a hip flask on him. That's about it. He's just kind of like hobbling up, and he's chatting with he is chatting with another young man. Who this fellow stands out, unfortunately, because he has a rather large red birthmark which covers the left side of his neck. It makes the skin very rough and coarse looking, almost like the same texture of a scab. But, with that aside, he's wearing formal clothes, kind of a dark brown leather coat with gold trim over a white dress shirt. He's got a lute strapped to his back, and he carries just a small satchel with him. And there you walk up the gangplank there.
Oh, good, you're here.
Right, yes, and you're here. Where is Gellin, that old salt?
You know him. He took a couple of the other guests down and everything, and just wanted us to greet you and everything and keep you company while he's gone. He said he'll be up shortly.
With that, you hear like a shout from below decks. Where is it? Wardell, you old warthog, is that you?
I told you it wouldn't take long.
And so some introductions are made. The older gentleman with the peg leg is introduced as Commodore Wardell Warrington. At this introduction, like, make a perception check.
Don't fail me now. Okay, I don't like this. 14.
Okay. So when he is introduced as Commodore Wardell Warrington, just out of the corner of your eye, you notice Captain Fish Lips kind of grimace slightly, but she composes herself quickly. The other gentleman is introduced as Mormac Seymour. And Gellin explains that Mormac here he's basically like a brother to me. We essentially grew up together. We're good friends. We do fight from time to time, but and yeah. And with that, like, Gellin is like, okay, well, I think that's just about. Oh, nope. We're still waiting on Father Wyndham. Of course, the old priest, he does tend to dawdle from time to time. Once he arrives, though, we'll be able to set off. Did you want to talk to any of the NPCs? Or do anything while waiting for the last guest to arrive?
The bard-ish person. What did you say his name was again?
So that's Mormac Seymour. Here, I'll put it in the chat.
He's doing some more macking.
Of course. So you have Mormac Seymour. The older fellow is Commodore Wardell Warrington. And then you had previously met Anders Salmore, Carmilla Fireborn, and their butler, Scarin Wave Chaser. Oh, you also briefly met the cook, Urgob. Well, you didn't get his last name, but the cook Urgob, and you met Captain Misty No Cruel Swale. Yes, thing. All right.
But I go up to Mormac Seymour, and I'm like, I've always wanted to pick up the lutes. Uh, I've played from time to time, but can't really, I'm more of a, you know, I have more of healing hands than strumming of the instruments.
Oh, right. I just I mean, I play a bit. I'm all right. I'm really not all that good. At the lute. However, I am exceptional when it comes to the arcane arts.
Magic Man!
Are you not impressed? I mean, magic is a bit of a rarity after all, right? I mean, oh, you you're not impressed, are you?
No, I enjoy those who can cast it. I, am not one, so there's many things I wish I could do that I can't. You know, I, I am a healer, but I don't even have the gods on my side on with that. I have to do it the old-fashioned way and make my concoctions.
Concoctions?
Yes, I'm a surgeon, and, a healer.
Oh, you're one of those types of healers. Oh, how quaint. Oh, lovely daddy would love to hear about this. But yeah, I can pluck you a tune or two. I can show you how to strum the strings on this bad boy at some point if you really want me to.
Hey, it would be an honor.
Alrighty, yo. Maybe after dinner then, chap. I understand Gellin typically has a couple events lined up prior to the initial night off, the cast-off banquet, as it were. I do have some unpacking to do though, so I'm going to retire to my quarters for the time being until the festivities pick up.
Toodaloo, have a good one.
Same to you, my furry friend. I will do my best to maintain these voices.
I think I might have had like 50 different voices for Traxador since he started. So that's okay.
Okay. Alright, so you met everybody else. Yeah, you didn't mention anything, so we'll go with that. Yeah, Gellin gives everybody their keys, and Father Wyndham is the last to arrive. So as you see this older gentleman kind of hobbling up the gangplank, I'll give you a quick description of Father Wyndham. He is a human male, older fellow. He is bald. He wears sea blue robes with the symbol of Okeano, aka the god of the sea, emblazoned on them. And you can see he also wears a holy symbol a holy symbol of like showing the waves of Okeano. And yeah, and he doesn't even he doesn't wait for Gellin to give him a key. He pulls his own keys out of his pocket as he goes heads below deck to find his cabin. But he does he smiles at you as he comes on board and says, "Oh, blessed day, travelers, blessed day. It is a blessing to have you on board this vessel with us this fine afternoon."
Thank you, sir. It's an honor to meet a worshiper of Aracona?
Okeano.
Akiano.
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, only a fool would choose to not worship the god of the sea, and he kind of like sneers a little bit, not at anybody in particular, but you can tell he's one of those opinionated priests.
Yeah, the gods have not chosen me as one of their practitioners, but I still consider myself rather holy. I am a surgeon. You know, I'm there to help out whenever those of your order can't make it.
Oh,
Do my best.
Okeano appreciates you, my child, and he. Oh wait, I need an old man voice. Okeano appreciates you, my child, and his blessings will be upon thee.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
Okay, I must head to my cabin now. And he hobbles towards the trapdoor. It props open for him somehow. It's like an automatic door almost. And he makes his way down the stairs.
Making his way.
Okay, so with that, we got that done. We got that part. We have blah blah blah. So, he goes down to his cabin to drop off his things and unpack and whatnot. Comes back up. So once everyone is on board, everyone gathers on the main deck to watch Misty cast off, and it is quite the spectacle. So she walks up to the helm, she mutters a few arcane words. Before we do this, did you want to check out any of these things? You saw things with runes and shit glowing on them all over the place. Is there any of that you want to like look at or anything?
Well, I mean, I'm interested in it. I'm not really much of a arcane, but I mean, it's I would like to look at it as out of curiosity, but I won't be able to really figure out much. So I didn't spend much. I don't spend much time just going, that looks cool.
Oh, perhaps what follows will make you a little more curious. So, Misty walks to the helm. She mutters some arcane words. As she does so, the gangplank stows itself. The anchor rises and the rope folds itself up neatly. The sail unfurls and all of the necessary rigging ties itself. Then, even though there is little wind, the ship sets sail at a good pace. And there's kind of spark, little sparkles and lightning and shit, effects wise, probably more showy than it needs to be.
Yeah.
But she makes a production out of it.
And I look over at Fish Lips going, we need some of these runes.
You're right. I don't know how they can manage to sail a ship with just. This is less than a skeleton crew. But with that, the ship sets off, and Ugab? Is that it?
My lovely little chef.
Yeah.
Gugab, something like that. Ugab.
Urgob. It's Urgob.
Urgob, yeah.
So yeah, okay. The ship sails off. Urgob brings up some drinks to the main deck, where you're able to mingle and chat. And why don't you make a perception and an insight check to kind of sort of see how everyone is kind of arranging themselves.
What the flap? Well, at least insight's better. 10 perception, 16 insight.
Well, fortunately, you don't need a high perception to notice. As far as like, well, Galen, he gets around to everybody, makes small talk. Typically like just regular things like how's the family, that sort of whatnot. Amongst the other guests, though, let's see. It's like, Anders, Carmilla, and Skarin all, get along well. They seem to be kind of avoiding the priest, and the priest avoiding them. Father Wyndham there, he's been kind of hanging out with the Commodore, Wardell, and Mormac. And so, like, they've been kind of like their own little clique over on one side of the ship, and then, Anders, Carmilla, and Skarin, their other little clique. Urgob replenishes drinks from time to time. You don't really see too much of Captain Misty. Like, once the ship is set on its course, she doesn't really have to do much of anything. And the first mate, you haven't even seen him yet. But yeah, so yeah, you notice the groups kind of stick into one another, and your insight tells you that these guys are all friends of Galen, but maybe they don't all get along with each other.
Yeah, pretty much getting that.
So yes, what would Traxador be doing with this? So, Fish Lips, Captain Corda, whatever we want to call her, she would try to be cordial. Now you would notice too that she kind of stays closer to the Anders, Carmilla, Skarin group, and she doesn't outright avoid Wardell, Mormac, and Father Wyndham, but like she makes her time spent talking with them a little bit less.
Yeah.
So what is Jabber doing while all this is going on?
Jabber is down in the quarters, staying away. I'm trying not to. He's a jackal, and I mean, he's great and all, but he don't, he's not necessarily, I try to brush him, clean him up a little bit. But, he's seen some battles. He's scarred up a little bit and everything. So, I don't want anybody to, think there's a mangy mud around or anything. So he stays, around the quarters some and everything. You know, I just let everybody know he's my emotional support pet.
Your emotional support jackal.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so how's Traxador spend the mingling portion of the cruise?
He's going to make his way around everybody. Doing mostly small talking. Visually he's doing small talking, but he is also scoping them out. He's not taking anything, but he's seeing if there's any marks that he wants to try to possibly find items misplaced at a future time if need be.
Okay. Which group would you like to approach first, and who are you initiating, quote, conversation with?
Well, the first group's going to be with Mormac and Warrington and the priest. Kind of start up with that. I'd met Mormac, and I'd go up and introduce myself to the rest and talk to the Commodore and just sit there listening to his war stories and stuff. I'm sure he'll be saying a lot of, but just trying to get any kind of gleam anything from any of those three, trying to get any kind of insight, and also try to see if there's anything that stands out about them in a way that's, is there something I could possibly take that would not be readily missed? If I so chose to do so sometime during this battle, or this battle, this cruise.
Okay. So, there's lots of things that you can learn about these people. You could do yeah, I mean, you can do perception checks to see if they have other things on them that aren't readily visible with their initial descriptions.
Yeah, nothing on that group.
Well, I would think that would just be one person.
Okay, so
And
that would have been
the Commodore,
yeah.
because I
And then-
believe you start with him. So, as you approach, like, he's like, "Oh, hello there. Is a pleasure. I'm very happy to get a chance to talk with you. I was so looking forward to it. Our introduction was so curt. And like, yeah, so like he's very friendly towards you, and wants to, and is kind of chatty, and plus everybody's drinking now too. So I think to get information like what you would learn just through small talk about these people, that would be maybe persuasion. I don't know. What are you?
I learned that the Commodore is my father.
Quite possibly. Okay, so you don't, although he's friendly towards you, like, initially, he doesn't really get a chance to talk very much. I guess, he's talked over by the other two. Um, but that's okay because, you have a feeling that, the captain, your captain, might have a little more information on this guy based on her reaction earlier.
Oh yeah.
So you can go ahead and do the same for next be Mormac.
Ooh. Okay, good perception. Not a very good persuasion. But hey, I've doubled it since the last one, so that's good.
Okay. So you kind of pick up, you already picked up that he's sort of snobby.
Yes.
Let's see. You notice, like he in like one of his pockets, he's got a purple crystal in his pocket that you're able to spot with your perception.
Okay.
Since he stated earlier that he's like a super cool mage, powerful wizard type, you can probably ascertain that might be his spell focus, or arcane focus. As far as what you learn about him, well, not too much. So
I take it that after my first talk with him, I probably was more acting like I was doing anything and really wasn't paying that close attention. It's like he's a snob, and I don't like him to begin with, even though I can be quite snobbish sometimes. But
either that or you're distracted by his birthmark.
yeah.
But what I was going to say though is, so even though you spent the last week in Sandport, you not intentionally, but you were made aware of the politics going around town. Like, not too many details, just more of the fact that there's like two like main factions that kind of are vying for power, and that's really all you know about it.
Yeah.
Because that's really all you care to know, because I mean, unless Traxador cares about the local politics of the cities.
No, his only interest in the politics is the Thieves Guild, and he's told by them what he can and can't do, and that's what's important to him.
Yeah, so you're aware of the two different factions, and you learn that Mormac here is of the traditionalist faction. They're more like they want more of like the crown's involvement in the day-to-day politics of their sovereign nations, if you will, right? Yeah. They want like direct interference, like from the crown, like direct interaction, like the crown having a presence there. So like the Arushi guards that you saw going through the city would have more of a presence in cities like Sandport and other major cities in the new colonies and whatnot. that's if the traditionalists get their way. You learn about the loyalists, and those are the ones that they are loyal to the crown, but they want to govern themselves, and they think, they're like, they'll still answer to the crown, but they don't need the crown's direct involvement.
Gotcha.
So you kind of pick up like you pick up that Mormac here is a traditionalist, which might lead you to believe that the other people are loyalists. But even with that said, you know that Mormac and Gellin grew up like childhood friends. You learn that Gellin's maybe about 5 years older than him. And you also learn that Mormac is an only child. Which
makes sense and sounds like it.
Yep.
My daddy paid for all of this.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Wait till my father will hear about this. It literally says, think Draco Malfoy for role-playing this character. Alright, one more person in this little group, and that is Father Wyndham.
Alright, my persuasion is going up steadily, but a 10 perception and 12 persuasion.
Okay, well, perception-wise, if he has anything on him that he's trying to keep hidden or obscured, does not appear to be so. Persuasion-wise, so you learn that he's really good friends with Gellin. And like he's been on basically all of these cruises, and he really only does it because he's friends with Gellin, and he believes that it is bad luck to not have a priest on board. If a ship crashes, a priest could cast Create Food and Water, for example.
Gotcha.
Let's see, on the that's a 12. Yeah, I'll give you that on the 12. You kind of pick up that he doesn't really like the Salmor family, but you're not really sure why. Not in like, a hateful or spiteful way or anything like that. He doesn't give off, like, he doesn't appear to be a person that gives off those kind of vibes. He's, it's like your typical old guy, holy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Now, then I'll go over to the next group.
So the next group is, of course, Anders Solmar, Carmilla Fireborn, and their quiet and reserved butler, Scarin Wave Chaser.
And I'll start with Anders. Ooh. There we go. 19 perception and 23, a nat 20 on the persuasion.
Okay, so, well, for starters, he's no longer carrying the briefcase, so he must have left that in his cabin. His cane, you notice that it's not just a cane, that with a quick twist, that cane can quickly transform into a rapier.
Kind of figured.
But with that persuasion check, he talks your ear off. So you learn that Anders Solmore owns the largest fleet of fishing boats in all of Sandport, which he had recently inherited after his mother died. You kind of he comes across as an honest young man. He's a member of the city council, like Gellin. You learn. He is a staunch loyalist and has a great disdain for pirates. Yeah, you also learn that his family moved to the Sandport area about 2 generations ago, and they still worship Calder, who is where to go?
Would you explain the dislike?
Yes, Calder, who is the well known as the god of winter, survival, and valor. And yeah, that's all there is about that.
And then next will be Madam Fireball. And I can tell that they are actually a couple.
Yes.
I noticed nothing about her because I'm fascinated with that tattoo. And then a 15 on the persuasion.
All right. So yeah, nothing. I mean, it's a really nice tattoo. But yeah, so you learn that Carmilla works for Gellin as his accountant. You learn she's also an only child. And and that, you know, she is currently betrothed to Anders. You kind of pick up that bit, like, so make a history check real quick, please.
16.
Carmilla Fireborn is the only child of Eleander Fireborn, who is a prominent figure that we will get into at a different time. But with that knowledge, you realize she's must have lived a strict life under her father's watch, and that her betrothal is more than likely an arranged thing. But she seems happy.
So, an arranged thing. And I talked to her about the her tattoo.
Okay, you specifically asked her about her tattoo?
Oh yes, yeah. Because I was like, what's fascinating? You know, your last name is Fireborn, and you have that glorious dragon tattoo.
Oh, that's no coincidence, dearie. This thing, it's enchanted.
Ooh.
There's so I know magic's pretty much like, you know, ancient history. But there used to be this spell called Burning Hands, and it basically lets you kind of shoot it like almost like a jet of flame from your hands for like a second. But this tattoo lets me do that at least once a day.
Oh, that's cool.
I know, isn't it?
See, and it would be cool too because you could hold your hands up in front of your mouth and it'll make it look like you have fire coming out, like a drill dragon.
You see, I did that once, and took about 3 weeks for Anders' eyebrows to grow back. But the look on his face was priceless.
I can imagine.
Wasn't it, darling? They laugh. Okay, last one in this group, Scarin. Wave Chaser. Scarin Wave Chaser, the butler. The old elf.
9 and 5. 9 perception, 5 persuasion.
So yeah, he's got, you know, this butler's suit is tight, so it doesn't, like, you know, it don't look like he got anything on him whatsoever. As far as, so you don't really, like, he's friendly towards you, but he's not, he doesn't, like, offer himself to you in conversation. He doesn't offer anything. So basically, like, you ask a question, he basically tries to answer. He answers politely, but in as few of terms as he can.
Like most butlers, you know, they're mainly there to take care of their masters and stuff like that. Just staying out of the way. So I get it.
Yes, and yeah. So the only other person that isn't a crew member that you haven't really... Oh no, I guess you've had a chance to meet with Gellin already, so... the afternoon kind of, like, you know, the afternoon carries on. Actually, why don't we take a short break right here before we continue on with the rest of this day.
Sounds good.
Alright, viewers, thank you for hanging in there. We're gonna bounce out for a sec. We'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Alright, we are back. Thank you so much for hanging out while we took a short break there.
Yep.
Alright, and I'm gonna change this.
Don't change, I love you just the way you are.
There we go. Since we're out on the water. All right. So there you have boarded the Prime Water Pleasure, a party boat, a cruise ship almost, a no crude cruise ship, powered by magic, as you witnessed as the boat took off from the harbor at Sandport.
Yeah, maybe a little jealous,
So you have had a chance to familiarize yourself with the ship. You have been shown your cabin, your own private cabin with a comfortable bed and privacy. I mean, it like it's better than your digs on the Dirty Delight. Let's be real.
Oh yeah.
Anyhow, and you've had a chance to mingle. Now, when drinks were being passed around, did you drink at all?
I had the same glass the whole time, and you know, I drank, but I sipped sparingly.
Okay.
And during times I would, when nobody was watching, I'd like pour it over the side so I'm out of it so I can get more, and, making it look like I've drank more than I have.
Okay. All right. So after about an hour or so of the mingling and basically the lubricating with alcohol, a pair of archery style targets are brought up on deck, and Captain Misty, she comes down. It's like, all right, so we're gonna do some knife throwing. Who thinks they can throw a knife better than the old captain here?
I mean, I'm a doctor, but I mean, I'll give it a try, I guess.
All right, yeah. Here, go ahead. You have your own daggers. Otherwise, Galen, dear, you got daggers around that we could use for this, don't you? Oh, of course. And he provides you with 3 normal iron daggers.
Cool. Even though I have 12 hidden on my body, but
All right.
I take ladies first.
Okay, so we're gonna take turns from 20 feet away. So she will throw her first dagger. If I can find the right screen. There we go. Now this isn't like a regular attack roll. This is just a D20 roll.
Ah,
And that, her first dagger lands in the black.
but I'm proficient.
You can have, oh, you know what, you can, go ahead, do it as an attack roll. I should do hers as an attack roll too.
22.
Okay, so her first dagger, oh, yeah, it still landed the same. So her first dagger landed in the black. Your first dagger, 22. Well, that, my friend, it hits in the yellow. So, the points go, white is 1 point, black is 3, blue is 5, red is 7, yellow is 10, and a bullseye is 20.
I'm like, oh, look. Oh, beginner's luck, beginner's luck.
So she has 3 points, and you have 10 points on the first dagger. Now she will throw her second dagger.
There we go.
Oh, she got a 22. That's in the yellow, so she got 10 points on that one. It is your turn.
14.
14 is blue, so that's 5 points.
I'm still winning, but not by as much.
Alright, she throws her third and final dagger of this competition. With a 20, dirty 20. So that's going to be yellow, another 10 points. And with that 24, you also hit the yellow for another 10 points, bringing Misty's total to 23 and your total to 25.
Woo! Look at that!
And Misty is impressed. She looks over at you and she's like, oh, well done there, long ears. Hey, how about a rematch, this time from 30 feet away?
Okay, and I start walking back a little bit more, and I'm like stumbling, like I'm drinking. It's like, man, I need to drink more often.
Well, from 30 feet away, you will have disadvantage. But Misty does not because she has the sharpshooter feat, and she goes first. Uh, 24 is not a crit, so that is 10 points right off the bat for Misty.
$14. It's 5 points for me.
Yep, that's blue. Ooh, Misty just got a bullseye. That's 20 points.
10.
10 is blue, so that's another 5. And then she throws her final dagger.
Nat 1.
Nice. That's
No. Yeah, Nat 1 is, yeah.
Nat 1. No, she doesn't have advantage. Just a straight roll. But Nat 1 turns that into an 8, which falls into the black. So she does get 3 points on that.
Oh, I was hoping that one didn't get anything.
Oh,
and
wait,
that I had
wait.
A chance to...
Nope, you are right because I didn't read far enough. Nat 1, she throws her third and final dagger and completely misses the target, and the dagger gets lost in the sea. Whoops! I guess my fingers slipped on that one.
Now, if I roll a double nat 20 here, I can tie her.
You just need a... Oh yeah, you would need double.
Yeah, because I don't have sharpshooter. Eh, 15.
15 is red, so that's 7 points.
So I got 17, and she got 30.
Yes, yes. And she... This time she kind of chuckles like, yeah, that's a little more like it. But you did good there. You did good. I respect that.
Thank you, thank you.
And,
First time I've like thrown knives on a target.
yeah, and give yourself inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
So, there are no other takers. The other guests are familiar with Misty's knife-throwing prowess. So, shortly...
But as I'm leaving, I just get another dagger and just toss it over my shoulder at the target. Just to see what the heck happens.
Okay, it'll be at this, don't matter.
Yeah. It would have been disadvantage anyway because I would have been too far.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Dang
you still hit it at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so the targets are taken down, taken back below decks, and put into whatever storage they have, because I didn't see any storage areas.
It's magic.
Yes. And a table and a few chairs are brought out, and Commodore Warrington produces a deck of cards from inside his doublet pocket. It's like, alright there, alright. Game's open to anyone. There's a buy-in of 50 gold. Need to play around the cards. Oh. Any takers, any takers.
50's a rich buy-in.
Alright, so you like sit out like the first few hands, and like, you know, the games go back and forth. Actually, I'll do a couple of rolls to see. I'll do 3 percentile rolls to see how well the Commodore does on this right here. Yeah, Commodore's not doing so well. And so after a few hands, he's like, alright, we can play something else. You Traxador, I see you standing there. Maybe let's play, maybe we play around a Kobold's Knuckles instead. That's, a bit cheaper of a buy-in. It's a 10 gold buy-in.
Do you take silver? Wait, the silver would be 10. No, never mind. That would be 1,000 silver, right?
That'd be 100 silver.
Oh, yeah, 100 silver. Yeah. Do you take silver?
I mean, it all spends the same, I guess, lad.
Alrighty. So how do you play?
Well, it's quite simple, and it's basically like blackjack. So, the house, which is Warrington, he will roll 2d10s. The 2 dice are added to a total, with ones being a 1 or an 11. and basically he has to play like blackjack rules. So if he falls between 17 and 21, he has to keep his total. If he has less than 17, he must hit. And then yeah, all the players would get a chance to roll the 2 dice and do the same.
Cool.
All right, so Warrington will go first.
Ooh, 21. What the frick?
Wow. Like, well, I guess that settles that hand. Well, I guess, I mean, it's possible could end up splitting the pot. You guys did all buy in after all.
13.
And then this would be for,
14. 15. Nope, that went out.
and then, it'll be, Mormac. Mormac will be playing also. Mormac got an 8. I'm not going to complicate it with doubling down. 8, that's a 19. That's 13, 14, 16, 21. So Mormac ties with them, and then so they end up splitting the pot there. Care for another hand there, chap?
As long as you don't roll another, as long as you don't get another 21. One more shot. Then I'm gonna be out of 3 months' pay.
Alright, so
I'm just guessing that.
Alright, so 18 for what's his face? Warrington. So he's got to stay.
I got 19.
I mean, that wins.
Yeah, so far that wins. Yeah, I'll stay.
See, 12, 17, and bust.
Aha! I won.
Alright, and there was
So-
10.
So that would get me, because with 3 of us there, so that would, I spent 100, so I get my 100 plus 200 more, right?
So they're playing with gold.
Or yeah, gold. So yeah,
So,
I get 2 more. I'd get 20 gold.
right. So you take off 100 silver from the first hand,
Yep, I already did that.
and then you would get back your 100 silver plus 20 gold.
Woohoo! Man.
Alright, what do you say? One more hand, chap. One more hand.
Okay, you talked me into it.
That's a 19 on the
Or a
cards.
9.
Oh, it's 19.
Okay, so okay.
That's a 19 for me, lad.
I think somebody knows how to play this thing a little bit better than me. I'm out.
Alright, come on there, Mormac. What you got?
Let's see.
Right there, lad. It looks like the luck of me father there got me a 20 on that one. Oh, Daddy will be so happy when he hears about this. Ho 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 ho.
So now we've all won a hand.
Alright, that's enough of it. I think dinner's just about ready here. So they pack up the table and chairs. Everybody gets to split the pot as their wins dictate. And
Yeah, my pocket's actually a little bit lighter just because I lost 200 silver and gained 20 gold, so less coinage.
Yep. And so everybody is given an opportunity to return to their respective cabins uh, momentarily before dinner is served, should they so choose to.
I go back and put my stuff back, and I'll when I had shared part of the meat that I had gotten from him earlier with Jabber.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's good stuff. I mean, it would be great to eat like this all the time. Maybe one day. Mm, I know. He's uh he's a keeper.
Huh, weird. All right. So yeah, after about 15 minutes or so, you hear a ding 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 as a dinner bell is rung, announcing the beginning of the. I can't think of a good word. It's like, you. I don't want to say it's not a maiden voyage, but it's the first night. So it's that perennial dinner or whatever.
Yeah,
You know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
It's a fancy dinner. And fancy dinners require tables.
Look, tables.
So you can zoom in however you want to on the map. I've pre-put tokens on this map and made them smaller so that they would fit in the chairs. But otherwise, it is a typical 5x5 grid. I just did that for the visual. So you can choose wherever you want to sit. You want that seat?
Yep, I'll take that one.
Alright, and then Jabber's probably not there.
No, Jabber's not there.
Let's see, then,
Fish lips would probably be next to me.
and then we'll put Graves there.
Over the other pompous little.
He's sitting next to Morton. So it's Graves, Morton, the Commodore, that's Anders there at the end with Gellin at the head of the table, of course. Then on the opposite side, you've got Carmilla, Father Windham, Skellen Wave Chaser, you, and then Captain Fish Lips. And the other three that you see, the captain and actually, well, no, the captain's not down there. The cook is busy because he's preparing the food, and again, nobody's seen the first mate. So I'm just gonna remove him. Okay. So all the guests gather in the banquet hall for the feast. You all gather together in the ship's banquet hall. There is a large table in front of you set for a feast. Everyone takes their seats. Yours are... okay, so for the sake of this image, we're going to say... No, I'm not going to do that. You're at, like, the aft end. The aft of the ship. Yours are at the aft end of the table, and the other guests fill the... No, stern. Your stern, that's aft. Fill the aft end with Gellin at the head. You all sit down, a few bottles of wine are passed around, there's a bit of light chatter while everyone's glass is being filled before Gellin stands up and clears his throat. Right, before we begin the feast, I'd like to propose a toast. Some time ago, I embarked on a rather risky business venture. Unfortunately, it didn't go to plan, and I was set back a sizable chunk of my fortune. However, that didn't stop me, and I continued to battle on against the tide. Now, thanks to all of you, Sandport is about to have the biggest economic boom in its history. This trip is for you. I hope you enjoy yourselves, and I swear to Okeano that you will always have a friend in the Prime Water family. And all the guests cheer in agreement and have a hearty swig from their cups. Now, now bring out the food, Kellen declares. And the doors to the banquet hall are flung open, and I'm going to say his name right, Urgob.
Yep.
Urgob comes walking in. He's dressed in his chef's clothes. On his arms are several expertly balanced plates laden with food, which he hands out to your group. He bows and, addressing Gellin and the other guests, says, If you give me but a moment, I shall return with the rest. And, a moment or two later, he soon returns, once more laden with food. So he walks towards the north, that would be the port side of the table, of the room rather, and begins giving out the food. And Mormac stands up, he smiles at the chef, he says, Urgob, please allow me and Warrington to assist you. It's the least I can do. And then Urgob smiles and nods, and together he, Mormac, and Warrington hand out the remaining plates of food. And then when it has all been given out, Gellin says, Alright, let the feast commence. And the chef, Urgob, he stays to talk to Mormac for a little bit while everyone tucks in. Yeah. After a minute, the door is opened once more as Captain Misty enters the room. And she walks over to Gellin and begins to speak quietly with him. How are you? What are you doing? What's dinner like? You chatting people up? You trying to listen in on conversations? Just eating
I'm
food?
listening in. Yeah, I'm listening in. Yeah. I'm listening in, just trying to, I'm trying to be, a polite little guest. I'm, eating my food, make sure I use the right forks and all this other stuff, and listening into everybody else's conversation. And if I'm asked a question or say, or something, I would, I'll agree or whatever, with the stuff, but I don't really do a whole lot of talking at the dinner table.
Okay. So, a few moments after Captain Misty arrives, the room is suddenly plunged into magical darkness that seems to spread from the middle of the table. There is panicked shouting, screaming, and the sound of chairs scraping as they are pushed back. What are you doing?
Alrighty, so magical darkness happened about the middle of the table right here, so right around where this gentleman is. I am actually going under said table.
You are going under the table.
Yeah. First, I pull the captain down to keep her safe, and then I go under the table.
Okay. All right. So, amid the shouting and screaming, you hear a thud followed by a cry of pain as something heavy hits the ground. Then nearly immediately after, there is another thud right above you as something heavy hits the table, followed by a gargling noise. This is followed by more shouting, this time with more fear involved. After that, the darkness recedes to reveal a horrifying scene. From you're under the table, so you can see Father Windham lying on the ground and groaning after falling back on his chair. Warrington is standing up with his chair pushed back, and you just see his legs. Same with Gellan. He's standing with his chair pushed back, and Captain Misty is standing beside him. You are under the table.
Yeah, and after the lights come back on, I'll be sticking my head back. I'll come back up. But I was like, "Oh, what's going on?"
Okay, so as you come back up, you notice everyone's eyes are drawn to Scarin Wavechaser, Anders Salmore's butler, who is lying on his side, slumped over the table. And you can all see his neck has been slashed open, and a bone dagger lies on the table beside him. What are you now? Now that you're up, you see Warrington. He's standing up with his chair pushed back, and he has his cutlass drawn. And Gellan is standing with his chair pushed back. He is unarmed, but Captain Misty is standing beside him with a dagger in each hand.
Okay.
What is your immediate reaction? This is like, gotta go.
Yep. I jump up and start being a doctor, trying to see if I could save the life of the butler.
Okay. Even, like, you don't need to make a roll. He has already died. Like, it was, like, almost instantaneous. And you go and you try to assist, and, there's, like, right before you hop up, there's a short pause, like the calm before the storm, and then the room just erupts in a cacophony of shouting, screaming, pointing, and crying amid the chaos. So you're trying to help him, but like you realize right away that you don't have the ability to. But you see Father Windham leap to his feet, and he kind of looks like bewildered for a second. He looks like he's like trying to find something, and he reaches for Carmilla's throat, and she yelps out in surprise as he yanks the diamond necklace off of her neck, and in his hand he takes his other hand and puts it on the wound on Scarin's neck and casts a spell.
Oh wait. I see what he's doing. I don't do that then. Or maybe because I don't understand what he's doing.
Well, he's not. So he would have been on the. Oh wait, no, he was on the same side of the table as you, but like you'd have to reach over the dead body to get to him, Scarin to get to him.
Yeah, so yeah, I would have, yeah, so.
Oh yeah, you probably wouldn't have been able to do that. But uh, he begins to cast a spell, and you all see the wound on Scaren's neck begin to knit back together before Scaren lets out a loud gasp as he sucks in air. He then leans over and starts throwing up a mixture of half-digested food, bile, and blood. And this coughing and vomiting is going to continue on for a bit, so just imagine a guy like hacking to high hell in the background. But
After I saw that I couldn't save him, I'm trying to nonchalantly keep an eye on Mormac, because he's the one who says, "Hey, I'm a magic user."
okay.
So do I notice anything? Like, is he taking his hand out of his pocket, like off of his arcane focus? Anything that might tell me that he is involved?
Make an insight? Or would it be more like perception? No, I think it's like insight.
Yeah. Crap.
I mean, everybody looks really, really nervous right now. Like, somebody just tried killing Scaren.
Which, to me, why kill a butler? Hmm. And the slit on his throat, because like with him sitting across from him,
And there's a bone dagger on the table.
bone dagger from with this slit, could I tell from what hand, like, is it a left-handed swipe,
Make a medicine check.
20.
So, this would appear to be a left-handed swipe.
And let's see, between this is Anders, right?
Yes. And yeah, so I guess people would be moved around a little bit now.
Yeah, I was just trying to. And from talking to him earlier and stuff, could I tell the handedness of, okay, like Warrington walks with his cane and he limps and stuff like that, so
Warrington doesn't have a cane. Or did he?
because wasn't it Warrington that had the cane, and he
I think
no,
Warrington's got the wood leg.
okay, he has the wood leg, the cane is Anders.
Yes.
Okay. So, but I don't see Anders or um, Firebrand, Fireborn, killing, attacking their own butler. The old man saved him, and I mean, it could be a clever ploy, but he seemed a little confused. So it would be between these two, and I don't like him. So what hand is he?
He's a right-handed.
He's right-handed, and how about Warrington?
Yeah, it's... Hmm.
And with like Anders, I noticed I had a higher perception earlier, so I would definitely. I mean, not Anders, Warback, because I noticed his other stuff. So he's right-handed. If you're coming across, yeah. So still, it's not going the right way. I'm a little perplexed.
Well... Sorry, I gotta like scroll forever. Things are about to get even more perplexed. Because as you're kind of like, surveying the situation and trying to put the pieces together, suddenly, Father Wyndham falls to one knee. He clutches his chest and begins to cough violently, and you watch as blood comes flying out of his mouth, leaving a large spatter on the ship's inner wall. The rest of the guests watch in horror as he collapses onto the ground, his body writhing uncontrollably, bending out of shape before he stops moving, his eyes staring blankly into the distance.
Okay, and the father was served by...
Actually, I think that's a really good time to pause.
Of course you do. Okay. Gives me time to think.
But yes. So yeah, with that, we are going to wrap up this episode of Swashbuckler Series with not a dinner party, but a murder mystery?
Murder mystery.
So,
see, this whole thing probably, a murder mystery type drama thing that, it was all fake.
Oh, we can only hope. We can only hope. But thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
We hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you come back next Friday. And maybe we will get to the bottom of this next Friday, next week, with Swashbuckler Series. Be sure to join us on Sunday for Dungeon of the Mad Mage at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
Monday, you can join us for our regularly scheduled Defenders of the Veil main campaign. Campaign 2 is underway, and that's at 9 p.m. Eastern on Monday nights.
Fine. He stuck us in Ravenloft.
That's right. We are in Barovia now, I believe, is what they call the region.
See, he's keeping us away from Strahd, which is where most of the campaigns go, which is good. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Saul's been afflicted by a werepanther.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Izzy has been afflicted with a werejackal. Allegedly. So what's going to come of all of it? I'm excited to find out.
Yeah, me too. And I'm excited to be able to play around with some of Paige's new things and, actually ho- I'm really hoping that I designed a character that's going to still be useful because as of right now it doesn't look like my social skills are going to be all that great, all that all that beneficial, at least not initially.
It's like, you go up there and you plan one thing, and then the DM is like going, okay, I know you planned it this way, but
He was way too happy when I failed that saving throw.
yeah, he was way too happy whenever everybody is like, wait, we're where?
All right, so we are going to raid out. Let's find someone to raid out to. Finding somebody we haven't rated out before. A
Adventure packs? Adventure pack?
adventure pack. We can try that. All right. So yeah, we're gonna try that. Everybody, thank you again for joining us. Um, have a good night. Stay hydrated, and we love you.
Bye.